Hey guys. So, I hope everybody's having a great day, or as good as it could be. I had a Botox injection done. If you can see the little spots right here, it was at least 32 shots in my head to help with migraines. Like, because I got to a point where I was seeing red lines, black lines, red and white spots, and it's supposed to help with that. So, I had an interesting day. Went to Walmart, and I don't know, like, I can't see very far without my glasses. So the funny part was that I asked this nice lady that worked there if she would mind helping me find a certain product that I was looking for. And she asked me, she's like, because everybody knows I had surgery. So when I say I'm wearing a brace, I'm wearing a brace. Right here. And this dang thing is always popping off. Always. Oh my god. Had to buy some Gorilla Glue. That's what I need to do. I have to buy some Gorilla. Okay. So, it's a little struggle so far to get around. Because of this brace, I gotta be on crutches, and I am not about to walk around Walmart Supercenter with crutches. No. I'll just hurt all day. And I'm doing really well because okay. Before I did drugs, I had been on pain management from 2016 up until 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. November has been 2 years. No. November of this year will be 3 years. My bad. I used to be hooked on hydrocodone. Apparently, I have a very addictive personality, and that's a very bad thing. So anytime I get these feelings in my chest, I start trying to rearrange my thoughts. I try to go from one way to another and not even try to be thinking about what's in between. So, I've noticed that there's been a lot of people that was kind. I mean, like, kind to where they wanted me to go ahead, and I'm sitting there giggling to myself because I said, you know, I really appreciate it, but you guys can go ahead. I said, it's going to take me a minute, promise you that. It's going to take me a minute. I don't know if I can emphasize enough how much of a great feeling it is for me to be clean. For me to have this surgery and having the Botox injection and having an ablation done on my back, you know, 18 surgeries later, I'm still alive and kicking. Can nothing fucking break me. And ain't nothing going to break me because I'm too tough. I was raised with 3 brothers, so of course I had to learn how to be tough. And I used to live on 11 acres down in Bridgeport, Texas. I used to go to school in Bridgeport, Texas. From the time I was in the 6th grade up until about a junior, and then when I was going into my senior year, I got pregnant. I hadn't quite made a video yet for my other son, so that'll be tomorrow morning. I will. I want my children to know that I was never a bad mom. Nobody gave me that chance to be a mom. Nobody. That's what I wanted the most. Even if I was 18, I still wanted to be a mom. I wanted to take care of my kids. And I never got that chance, and I can never gain those years back. Never take for granted what you have, because you never know when it's gone. And you never know if you're going to get it back or not. I'm just praying. That's all I'm doing. I'm praying. Praying for my boys to be back home, for them to be understanding that I never got the chance to raise them because of some stupid reasoning. My father could sit there and say that I was in and out of my son's life all he wants to, but every single time I went to go get my child, that stupid, ignorant son of a bitch would hit me in the chest every fucking time. That right there, to me, is a worthless piece of shit. You can't go in this life thinking that you're tough and that your shit don't stink, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just because you think that you have an upper hand on somebody else's life doesn't mean shit. Knowing that you think you know that you got that upper hand on somebody, don't be fucked up about it if the other person's got 10 times upper hand than what you got, because they tired of your bullshit. They're tired of being pushed around and thinking that you can just run their lives however you want to run them. They're tired of it, and they're going to start taking a stand for themselves. And you know what? We all need to do that. Every single one of us needs to take a stand for ourselves. Because I can tell you right now, from personal experience, if you cannot stand for yourself, if you cannot stand up for yourself, you're not going to stand up for other people. Regardless of what you might think, what you might know, what you've been told, it ain't going to work out that way. You've got to learn how to respect yourself, to love yourself before you can respect and love anybody else. In order for you to accomplish anything in life, you've got to be able to put everything you've got in it. If it starts getting too hard, you can't give up. You know why? Because you've gotten that far. It might be tough, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, shit's going to be tough. If you're in a spot right now where you're down, you ain't got nothing, no car, no job, no nothing, there's always going to be a bigger change for you if you put the effort into it. You got to be able to want something in order to achieve something. I wish you guys would listen. If some of you might, some of you don't. If you don't, I'm not going to knock you for it. You know, this is just me. This is me trying to be helpful, you know. I listen to motivational speaking, inspirational speaking. And one of those motivational speakings that I listen to, in one of them it says, if you want to be a diamond, You got to learn how to take the pressure. So you got to think of it like this. That's the same concept, right? It's the same fucking concept if you're in a life that's really difficult for you to just focus on what you need to get done. If you can't handle that pressure, you're not going to be able to handle the pressure of everything else that you got to get done in your life. Everything else that you got to accomplish. All right? So, if you take everything in life for granted, you never know when you're going to get that back. And this is a biggie for me. Never hold that thought for just a second, because I know it's going to be a good one. If you cannot handle the pressure of what life throws at you, you're not going to be able to handle this. Every night before you go to bed, trust me when I say it, there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that I don't pay no mind to, because I ain't into drama and bullshit. I'm done with it. I'm getting too damn old. That's for sure. Don't ever go to bed without telling your loved one that you love them. Don't ever go to bed angry, because you never know if you're going to wake up the next morning. You never know if the person next to you is going to wake up the next morning, right? No matter what, if you're fighting with somebody, whether it's your family, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, husband, wife, whatever, okay, or friend, even if you're friends, us as human beings need to learn how to be a little bit more humble. For me, at least. I've learned how to be a little bit more understanding of a lot of things. And sometimes it's difficult, because when I'm just sitting here and I'm doing my studying, if I get up for a second just to go take a break, there's some days where I'm like, okay, cool, I'm great, ain't nothing going on, I'm good. I'm in the same type of mood that you guys see me in now. But then there's other times where it just, I don't get it, I don't understand it. It's like, I'll get up from the seat, I'll go out there into the living room, and I'll feel agitated about something, and there's no reason for me to be agitated. None at all. Did you know it takes more energy? It takes more energy for you to be pissed off than it is to just put a smile on your face. Because if you go around pissed off and you're like, what the fuck, man? This right here is going to be a big old wrinkle. And it's going to get stuck. I know I have what they call a resting bitch face. I have had that a lot. I'll be sitting here, ain't nothing wrong with me. Even if there was nothing wrong with me, I'd still have that I'm the resting bitch face. Can't help it. Just can't help it. I'll just sit here and I'm just cool and kosher, and everybody. There's some people that might think I was upset or whatever, but no. I mean, I'm pretty good. Funny thing, I went to go get my injection done in my head today, right? 4 up here, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. It started to hurt once it got back here. She did tell me, she said there might be, did she put this? Okay. She sat there and said, we don't always know where the blood vessels are in your head, so sometimes we might actually hit a blood vessel and then you'll bruise. I'm like, okay. It'll just look like somebody hit me in the head or I fucking fell over, right? No biggie. But when she sat there and said there's a possibility that I wouldn't be able to keep my head up, like if I can't keep it up like this, something's wrong. She said that was a possibility of a partial paralysis, because it's several different medicines that's going into your body. 30 something in 30 different shots. So imagine every bit of your migraines that you got, it's gonna get better. So you go back every 3 months. Yeah, it's gonna be scary, right? Trust me, I get nervous about shit. I'll still get nervous about shit, but I won't freak out as much, because you can't control anything that hasn't happened yet. If you can't control it, there ain't no reason to be upset about it. You can't control somebody else's thoughts. You can't control somebody else's words. You can't control somebody else's actions. See, they're in control of their own mouth, mind, body, and soul. They're in charge of that. They're the ones that make the decisions on what they say and what they do, whether it affects you or not. No matter what, just because somebody's wanting to sit there and tell you the truth about something, if it's going to hurt you, just brush it off. Just brush it off. Brush it off. Because it ain't going to do you no good. All it's going to do is put wrinkles on your face. I've got enough right down here. So, it takes more muscles to be pissed off than it does to smile. Because every time you're pissed off and you got this pissed off face, you just, like I used to get told that I looked like I was sucking on lemons. So, I guess my message would be, learn to be humble. Learn to be a little bit more respectful. Here's a good tip. Before you go to bed at night, if you're living with somebody and you're friends with them, do your thing, go to bed. Don't go to bed mad at each other if you guys are roommates and say, like, you guys get into it or whatever. Don't go to bed mad at each other, because you guys are friends, right? Something maybe been a little bit petty that you guys have gotten pissed off about. Anything petty that happens in your life is going to make a big difference in the way you live your life. If you're going to be petty for the rest of your life, then you're not going to set yourself up with any goals. If you're not petty, you're more willing to be into goals, into achieving your goals, and not getting pissed off over something so small. If you cannot control somebody else's actions, there's no way in hell that you should be pissed off, right? Just like if somebody was to sit there and just start cussing up a storm, okay? And I'm a big ass motherfucking cusser. I'll say fuck this, fuck that, blah blah blah, okay? I don't need nobody's permission to tell me how to speak. And I've had a couple people pissed off at me because of the way I speak, and quite frankly, I don't care anymore. I'm worried about me only, and my mom, and my brother. I used to spend my 20s paranoid about a lot of shit. Because I was 18, I left home, didn't know shit, didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground. And I had it rough. Like, I lived it rough only because I chose that. Nobody else did. So you learn from your mistakes. It's always one thing that my mom said to me is that my grandfather used to say, write it in a book called Life Lessons Learned. If you've learned from what mistake you've had and you've moved on, you can close that chapter and start a new one. If you start a new chapter in your life, then that means you're setting your goals, you're achieving your goals. You're achieving a better person on what you want to be and who you want to be and how you want to present yourself to people when they're around you. It's always about your character, how you present yourself to people. You've got to be able to, I don't know how to say this right. You got to be able to learn how to give and receive. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. So, I've done said my 22 minutes of speech, talk, whatever. But what I was also going to say was, before you go to bed, jot down one thing positive that happened to you for the day. Whether it was a laughter, a promotion, or making a new friend, or just having a good day. If you write it down on a piece of paper, on something positive that happened, you're going to start noticing a pattern. When you get up, if some of you pray, do your morning thing. Some of you don't. You guys have a morning routine. Make sure you write down one goal that you want to get done for that day. So see, when you write it down at night and you wake up, you see it right next to your bed. You see it right there next to your bed, and you're like, okay, I'm going to try to achieve this. Don't get upset. Don't get discouraged if you can't, because you never know. If you keep falling off that bicycle, honey, it's going to take you 10 times more energy to get your ass up and get your boots dusted off and tighten your bootstraps up, get back on that bike and start again. You can't get anything done if you keep falling off and then giving up. If you keep falling down and you keep getting up and you keep trying, then you might actually get some shit done, right? Right. Good. Okay. Yeah. Just write down something that you want to achieve the next day. Like, say if you got a goal that you want to achieve, either write it down on a piece of like on a calendar or something, right? You can get on a calendar and you can write down either every day on a calendar of what you got to do that day. If you got to go to the doctor, make sure you go to the doctor. But if you got something else that you have to do that day that you're setting a goal to do, for instance, if you want to get on the computer and do your homework, or if you didn't graduate high school and you want to be able to get your high school diploma, Graduation Alliance is the one that helped me get my diploma. They helped with setting everything up, getting me into college. They got all that shit done, and I got my diploma in 1 month. Got all my transcripts transferred over, and I got it in 1 month. 5 classes in 1 month. I sat there and I said, I'm going to get my diploma before the end of the year. From the time I was 18 up until December, I didn't have a diploma. I tried multiple times. That's where I go back to, if you keep falling off the bike, you got to pick yourself back up and keep riding it and keep trying. That was me. I kept trying to get my GED and then something else kept on stopping. Or I had a false class or a false school tried saying that they would help you get your GED, and I passed it thinking that I was going to get my GED. No, they were a fraudulent school. I can't even think of the name of it now. But anyway, so I'm going to get off here. Try to have a good night. If you guys think of something that you want to talk about, or you think that would be a good topic for me to talk about, write it down in the comments, whatever. I like to be able to help. So, good night. Have a nice day.